Hello and welcome to Big Orbit's Cardfight Vanguard weekly update. My name is James and I'll be going through the cards shown throughout the past 7 days and also some before. There are a lot of cards to go through as I have been gone for 2 weeks, so again I'm only going through some of the more interesting and useful cards, but even then there's still quite a lot of them. Firstly, I'd like to go over a card that people have been waiting for a long time, Shadow Paladin's new boss from GTD10, Dragheart Luard. He introduces the new keyword Ritual. A skill with Ritual will only activate if you have the specified number or more grade 1s in your drop zone. So his first skill is an auto on the Vanguard circle, Ritual 3. Choose 2 normal units from your drop zone and put them to the bottom of your deck in any order. At the beginning of your ride phase, you may pay the cost. If you do, until the end of turn, you may stride without paying the cost of the next stride. So we're already off to a great start with this guy. It may make it hard for you to pull triggers in the later game, but it will definitely prevent you from decking out, which is a fairly good possibility with how much Shadow Paladins are superior calling these days. His second skill is an auto on the Vanguard circle, counterblast 1 and choose one of your rear guards and retire it. During your turn, when your G unit would stride, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 2 grade 1 or less cards, call them to separate rearguard circle and shuffle your deck. So if you don't have enough boosters in your hand, it's no longer a problem, and searching your deck for any 2 grade 1s is always fantastic. It even evens out the cost of the first skill, as it does filter your deck to activate more triggers if that's what you're going for. And just a little note, the first skill is not a GB2, he does not have any GB2, which is for the first skill to just be able to use it right off the bat as long as you've got Ritual 3, which isn't that hard to pull off. It's extremely strong, so this is probably going to be a very popular trial deck because Luard is just so powerful. Abyssal Owl is a nice grade 1 Luard support card that comes in GBTO9. When this unit is placed on rearguard circle from your hand, look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Search for up to 1 card with Luard in its card name, reveal it, put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. If you put a card into your hand, choose 1 or more cards with the sum of their grades being 3 or greater from your hand and discard them. So this is similar to the first skill of a stride fodder. As Luard's first skill basically has no use for stride fodders, Abyssal Owl is not one. Instead, his second skill is Auto Ritual 3. When this unit is retired from rearguard circle, for the cost or effect of your card with Luard in its card name, countercharge 1, and this card is included in the number of rituals. So a very nice skill to have, especially as there are plenty of counterblasting Shadow Paladin cards, and you can so easily search this card back out from the deck. Dragsaver Esras is a new perfect guard for Shadows. She can only protect an attack going towards your Vanguard, like many other perfect guard Gs, but she has a second skill that works from the drop zone. Acts on drop zone, Generation Break 1, Ritual 3, choose one of your rear guards and retire it. Choose one other card named Dragsaver Esras from your drop zone and put it into the bottom of your deck, and return this card to your hand. If you wanted, you could call this card out from your deck and retire it for a cost of one of your skills, to then be able to easily put it into your hand, though I can't decide whether this would be a good idea or not. Either way, it is a very nice and very useful card. We've also had the stride version of Luard shown to us, Drag Driver Luard, who to many people's surprise, is actually a triple R despite being the cover card. As an auto on the Vanguard circle with Ritual 3, Soul Blast 1, and choose a face down card from your G zone and turn it face up. When this unit is placed on Vanguard circle, you may pay the cost. Search your deck for the same number of grade 1 cards as the number of face up cards named Drag Driver Luard in your G zone, call them to separate rearguard circle, shuffle your deck, and those units get plus 1000 for each grade 1 card in your drop zone until the end of the turn. See what I mean about decking out being very possible? Though despite that, this card is very good. He's a great way to set up later strides who retire a lot of cards, and unlike grade 3 Luard, doesn't need to already have cards on the field to superior call. He can also be handy in Diablo decks, as you will be able to get Generation Break 3 on the second stride, perfect for Spectral Blaster Diablo, though it will require you to put in a lot of work to get to Ritual 3 on the first stride. Air Force Eliza is a card I really like in Spike Brothers. She's a grade 1 with Charge and Auto on the rearguard circle, Generation Break 1, Counterblast 1. At the end of the battle that this unit boosted a rearguard with the Charge ability, you may pay the cost. If you do, bind the boosted unit face up, call that card to open rearguard circle, and if this unit is charging, that unit gets plus 2000 power until the end of turn. Put this unit to the bottom of your deck. There is a lot of counterblasting in most Spike Brothers decks, but this can really help for your final push. For Angel Feather, we have a new stride, Holy Celestial Anaphiel. She has a continuous on the Vanguard circle. If you have a heart card with Celestial in its card name, this unit gets Act, Vanguard Circle once per turn, choose one of your rear guards with Celestial in its card name and put it into your damage zone face up. Choose a card from your damage zone and call it to rear guard circle, choose up to 3 of your units, and for each face up card with the same name as each of those units in the damage zone, all your units with Celestial in its card name gain 3000 power until the end of turn. If you can manage your damage zone well and have 5 damage, you can give all your units a maximum of plus 15,000 power, but it is fairly hard to pull off. It's definitely a big step forwards from the previous stride, Mikhail. Defending Supreme Dragon Bulwark Dragon is a new G-Guardian for Narukami. Many will dislike the fact that it is another G-Guardian that doesn't really work with pre-G decks, but it has a continuous on the Guardian Circle, Thunderstrike 3, this unit gets plus 10,000 shield. So a pretty easy requirement for Vanquisher decks, which is what people are complaining about. But I think it's not too bad. I just wish that Blade Master would get the same kind of support in Kagero instead of Overlord taking role. So I'm glad that Vanquisher is still kind of the underdog of Narukami, but is still getting some nice support. And then he also has a second skill, Auto, at the end of the battle that this unit is placed on the Guardian Circle, choose up to 1 rear guard at rest in your opponent's front row for each 4 cards in your opponent's bind zone and retire it. That's a lot of cards needed in the bind zone to make the most of his skill, but on the other hand, doesn't require any counterblast. I'd probably recommend using 3 of this guy and 1 of Vritra, because he's just so useful for most of the time that you'll be able to use G-Guardians. I really like the little stages it goes up in, so 3, then 4, then 8, just giving you constant little benefits from using him. For Gear Chronicle, we have a new Zodiac Time Beast Grade 1, Pulsar Tamer Nepada. As a continuous on the rearguard circle, if you have a Zodiac Time Beast Vanguard, this unit gets intercept, and continuous on the rearguard circle, this unit can intercept from the back row. And it gets continuous on the rearguard circle. If this unit is at rest, this unit cannot be chosen by the effects of your opponent's cards. This is very useful, a little grade 1, and her continuous is extremely easy to activate. The great thing is that her 6k power is not even a problem because of a certain new stride that's coming out. I'll go over the stride now. It is Meta Pulsar Split Pegasus. So his first skill is a continuous in the G zone. During your turn, if this unit is face up, all your Zodiac Time Beast units in the front row gain plus 1000 power. So not defensive, but it makes up for lost numbers. And with 3 in your G zone, it can push you just above the 20k mark with columns that have Chrono Beat Buffalo or Chrono Charge Unicorn. He then has a second skill, an act on the Vanguard Circle once per turn, counterblast 1 and choose a face down card from your G zone and turn it face up. If you have a Zodiac Time Beast Heart card, choose one of your grade 1 or greater rear guards, return it to the deck, search your deck for 2 Zodiac Time Beasts with grade -1 of that card, call them to separate rear guard circle, and shuffle your deck. You can use this on the first stride, which really helps you out with setting up your field. If you don't have anything over grade 1 in your hand, then it can seem a little useless, but if you stride over Chronojet Dragon G, you can call a grade 1, time leap it into a grade 2, and then split it into 2 permanent grade 1s. We have 3 cards shown to us for the new character booster. If you're unsure what a character booster is, it's a new kind of set with 12 packs in a box and 7 cards in each pack, like a clan booster, but presumably focuses mostly on the cards for the characters the set is made for, while still having some support for other builds in the clans. The first 3 character boosters have been announced. The first one is Try 3 Next, focusing on Chrono, Gear Chronicle, Shion, Royal Paladin, and Tokoha, Neo Nectar. The second booster will be called We Are Trinity Dragon, having support for the cards used by Tsuneto, Oracle Think Tank, Carl, Dimension Police, and K, Great Nature. And finally, the third booster is named Rummy Labyrinth of the Moonlit Night, and it will have support for Luna, Pale Moon, and Am, Grand Blue. So right now for character booster 1, we have the Gear Chronicle Perfect Guard, Steam Tamer Arca. Her cost is a little unusual, as instead of discarding any card from your hand to use her Perfect Guard skill, you have to discard a Zodiac Time Beast. But you can guard your rear guard with it too. Then, as a skill from the drop zone, Act, Drop Zone, Generation Break 2, choose one other card named Steam Tamer Arca and a Zodiac Time Beast trigger from your drop zone and bind them face up. Return this card to your hand. So similar to the Shadow Paladin card. This is actually very useful, as Arca herself is a Zodiac Time Beast, so I was putting 2 Zodiac Time Beasts into the bind zone, ready for Demi-Edge. For Royal Paladin, we have a stride Holy Dragon Legit Sword Dragon. As an act once per turn, counterblast 1, If you have a heart card with Alfred or Blaster in its card name, search your deck for up to one grade 2 or less card with Swordsman of Light or Blaster in its card name, call it to rearguard circle, shuffle your deck, and that unit gets plus 2000 power until the end of turn. A fairly nice first stride for Royals, and works well with Seeker decks working around either Thingsaver Dragon or Alfred Exiv. Lastly, for the character booster, we have grade 2 Neo Nectar unit, Sunlight Maiden Pora. She has a Bloom as an auto on the rearguard circle, Generation Break 1. When your other unit with the same card name as this unit is placed on rearguard circle, until the end of turn, this unit gets auto rearguard circle. When this unit attacks, if you have a Vanguard with Ranunculus in its card name, this unit gets plus 10,000 power until the end of the turn. Now this ability does stack to achieve stupidly powerful units, so having 8 to 12 stands is looking very likely in Asher builds these days. The new grade 3s Heavenly Decree Knight Altmal and Searing Heart Ranunculus Asher are actually coming out in the character booster, and we have yet to know what their skills are. In the trial decks 11 and 12, we are getting reprints of Blue Sky Knight Altmal and Ranunculus Flower Maiden Asher, which may be a good idea as it seems easier to get hold of for whatever people want to make Altmal and Asher decks. It also, they haven't not done it before, because Chronojet Dragon got a second trial deck, and they're all the first 3 G bosses, so I guess it makes sense after such a long time. And also these 2 new artworks for them are very, very nice. I really enjoy the new artwork. Though this could be thought of as hinting towards their new forms being very powerful. Like, too powerful to be in a trial deck, and that's why they need to be in a booster instead. But it could also be just so they're more accessible, and then you can easily have 8 Altmals in your deck or 8 Ashers in your deck. And that is all for this week. Be sure to leave a comment on what you think of the new cards, and if you have any questions about the ruling, then feel free to ask. I'll try and answer it as best as I can. Be sure to check next week too, where I'll be going through the cards shown throughout the next 7 days, where I'm sure plenty more GBTO9 cards will be shown. Shadow Paladins, Gear Chronicle, Spike Brothers, all that lot. So I'll see you next time. Bye!